Good morning, everyone. How are you? I hope you had a good week, and I hope you were able to celebrate Mother's Day. So this week, we're going to talk about how Paul is changed. So we're going to talk a lot about change. Your papers, if you've received them, you have two of them. This one, of course, is your weekly one. And then this is your worksheet for this week. On this side, it's I am different. And you're supposed to look at both sides and circle what's different. I think it's funny the horse is wearing sunglasses. And then on the other side, it says, in today's Bible story, a man named Paul was changed. He went from hating to loving. With the help of God, he saw the good in others. Have you ever felt hateful? What does it feel like to hate? How do we show love? What does love feel like? Write or draw about it here on your paper or just a blank piece of paper that you might have at home. So, I wonder, what made you laugh this week? How did you help someone this week? It was a kind of a rainy week, wasn't it? But I bet you still found a way to help someone. What are you grateful for? I have more flowers blooming at my house, and I'm very grateful for that. What was the most difficult part of your week? And what made it better? And where did you see God this week? Because God's all around us, right? Yeah. So now let's read our Bible story. It comes from Acts 9, 1 through 19. And it's titled Paul Changes. Paul and his friends were on their way to a city called Damascus. Paul had heard that there were many followers in Damascus. Paul was going to arrest Jesus' followers and bring them back to Jerusalem. Suddenly, a bright light from heaven flashed around Paul. Paul fell to the ground and covered his eyes. "Paul, Paul," said a voice from the light, "why are you being unkind to my followers?" The voice was Jesus. "Get up, Paul, and go into the city," said Jesus. "Someone will come and help you." When Paul stood up, he couldn't see. Paul's friends had to help lead Paul into the city. A man named Ananias lived in the city. He was a follower of Jesus. One day Ananias heard the voice of Jesus. "Find the man named Paul," said Jesus. "But Paul is unkind to the followers of Jesus," said Ananias. "I am afraid." "I have chosen Paul to tell others about me," said Jesus. "You must go to him." So even though he was afraid, Ananias went to find Paul. Paul was sitting in a house. He said he could not see. "Paul," said Ananias, "Jesus sent me to help you." Then Ananias touched Paul's face. Immediately, Paul was able to see again. Paul was baptized and became a follower of Jesus. Paul began to tell everyone he met about Jesus. Paul had changed. Jesus' love changes us. How do you think Paul felt when he was changed by Jesus? I bet he was very happy. Don't you think so? Do you remember our Bible verse for this month? Let's say it together. As for us, we can't stop speaking about what we have seen and heard. Acts 4:20. Let's do that one again. As for us, we can't stop speaking about what we have seen and heard. Acts 4:20. So since we're talking about change today, I have a fun activity that you should be able to do at home. What do you need? You need a coffee filter. You need some markers. My selection here at home is pretty limited. And you need a paper plate and a spray bottle of water. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the coffee filter and you're going to fold it into fours. You might need some help with this. So there, I folded it in half, and now I'm going to fold it again so it's in fours. And then what you're going to do, and I would suggest coloring on a piece of paper or maybe even your paper plate, you're going to take your markers and you're going to decorate it. And I have one that I've already decorated like this. And then after that, after it's all decorated, you're going to spray it with water. So I'm gonna do that here, and you need to make sure that it gets nice and wet. And I'm gonna keep spraying to make sure it gets wet. Oh, it should be nice and wet now. And then you're going to unfold it, and we're going to see how it's changed. Gotta figure out how to get it unfolded here. Oops, it helps if you start from the correct side. Okay, so here I'm going to, and I don't want to drip my water all over the place, so I have it unfolded there. And in just a second, I'll have it unfolded the other way. And look how it's changed. Isn't that cool? So I'm just gonna let that dry. If I'm gonna really do it, I'm gonna get the water off the plate. So we'll set that to the side. So that's a fun activity that you can do today or this week. So as we close our Bible lesson today, let's do our blessing. You know, this week we're talking about stories from the Bible that talk about spreading the message of Jesus. Do you remember what today's Bible verse was? Let's say it together. As for us, we can't stop speaking about what we have seen and heard. Acts 4:20. So let's say our blessing together. Can you whisper, I love Jesus? Good job. Now, can you turn to your neighbor or someone in the room and say, I love Jesus? Good job. Now, can you shout, I love Jesus? Oh, that was a great job. Now, say amen. Bye, everyone. I'll see you again next week.